Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to unbox the Darksiders 3 Apocalypse Edition. Probably the biggest box I've opened yet. So very cool, looking very forward to this. In terms of artwork, right up front here we've got Fury looking very cool. On the top we have some purple sort of environmental artwork, as you can see. And then on either end here is just sort of the Darksiders logo, like the emblem if you will. Pretty standard packaging. On the back here we did have a card as well taped on, as you can see here. It just has your breakdown, your statues, your steelbook, your wall scroll, etc. So pretty straightforward stuff, but that is only the outside and we are interested in the inside, so let's take a look and see what we got. Alright guys, well, as you can see, there's a ton of stuff in here. I think this is a little bit overwhelming, so probably the best thing to do is just go through this, start with the little things, we'll work our way up to the statues and take a much closer look at those. So, magic of editing and all that. Alright guys, before we get to the statues, we do have a few more things to get through here. I'll start things off with this art book. Now, sadly, it is not a hardcover, but it does have a pretty premium feel to the paper and the cover. So, pretty good overall. I think with a game this stylized, though, these art books actually go a lot further than they might for some other titles. I love the character design. I love the environmental design. Just, you know, the whole aesthetic is very, very cool in this game and, well, this whole series. So, I think the art book's a really nice addition. I'm actually happy to see it here. In terms of the steelbook, I love this. I mean, I love steelbooks, right? But I will say it's a little busier than maybe might have been my preference, but it certainly suits the tone of this game. So you got Fury up front, looking cool. And then on the inside here, you've got Fury again, and there's sort of like a reflective effect that they've applied to her hair, weapon, and a skull in the armor. So that's actually really cool. Now you do get a copy of the game here, which is great. That's not always the case in these collector's editions, so very happy to see it here. And it does come with some DLC. So you're going to have the Crucibles DLC, Keepers of the Void, and some DLC armor. So some nice extras. Now there's the pendant, the Darksiders logo, necklace. It's pretty neat, and maybe in my opinion one of the weaker pieces in the set, but given everything else is here, not a super big deal. And I do really like that the soundtrack is a disc. Now, normally we're getting DLC codes for this kind of stuff, digital content, I get it. But as a collector, right, I mean, I buy all this stuff, I love collecting these things. Having a physical disc, having that extra cardboard sleeve with, some additional artwork on it, that's a really cool choice. So I definitely appreciate that they went that route here. Last but not least is this wall scroll, and I wasn't expecting big things here. I thought this would feel a lot cheaper. It's actually very sturdy fabric. It's got some great art, very vibrant colors, and I was really pleasantly surprised with this. So definitely a nice touch as well. With that out of the way, let's take a look at these statues. Alright guys, I figure we do these in order of the games here, so we'll kick things off with War here and take a closer look. Alright guys, well, here's War. As you can see, very cool figure, really good amount of detail, paint application is really nice. Quite sturdy. The base is a little bit on the light side. War himself, he's got a good bit of weight to him, but his sword is really light. It feels hollow, and I was actually quite afraid putting it in his hand here that I might, I might break it or something. So sadly, the sword is a little bit on the flimsy side. I mean, it's sturdy, but it feels really, really light. So it does concern me a touch. Although, again, once, if you're careful setting this up, displays really well. It's not like you're going to, play action figures or something with it. Well, maybe you will, but you probably shouldn't. I think the scale work is great. The big feet, the giant gauntlet hand kind of thing. Really, really well detailed piece. So definitely a good start to the 4 here. Moving right along, let's take a look at Death. Alright guys, well, here's Death. He looks also great, lots of detail, obviously same manufacturer, so I'm going to expect the same level of quality here as I go through them. Paint looks really good, lots of detail work. Weapons are already in his hand, so he's sort of one solid unit. They are, they're a little flimsy, but they're very thin, so all things considered, they feel pretty good. Lots of detail on the base, the skulls, paint looks good across the board, so no complaints here. Another great looking statue, and let's move along to Fury. All right, guys, next up we have Fury. She looks very, very cool, though I have to admit she is not quite as detailed as the other two statues. I don't know if it's just her armor or what it is. She doesn't quite have the same level of nuance, which is kind of a bummer. She still looks very cool, though. Tons of detail in her weapon. On that note, be very careful putting it in her hand. It actually comes apart, so the pommel, the very base of the handle, pulls off, much like a Figma. Other high-end Japanese action figures do this a lot. I'm sure there are others that do as well. Pull that off, slide it into her grip, and then put the cap back on. I don't want to see anyone trying to force the handle in or pry her fingers apart. I wouldn't want anyone to break their statues or anything, so just be very careful when you're doing that. Beyond that, again, looks great. A little bit wobbly as a display piece, though. It's not really a major concern. Overall, like another really good statue here. We got one more to go. Let's take a look at Vulgrim. Alright guys, well, last but not least, we have Vulgrim, and I gotta be honest, he's really cool. I know he's not Strife, but he's such a cool character. I really don't mind that he's in here. You know, there might have been an opportunity to tease Strife, tease another game, that could have been something, but as far as this character goes, tons of detail. Cloak looks really, really good. Love the way they got him floating on his base here. You know, they've just done such a good job with all these characters, but Vulgrim especially, he might be the most detailed. Just a great set. All four of these make such a great display that I'm very, very pleased with this. Well, that's it for me, guys. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to check this out. I look forward to making more videos for you soon. I'll see you then. Thanks. Oh, man. Hey, guys. Whoa, that was maybe a little loud, hey? There's a lot of stuff in here. I don't really know where to start. It's cool. I don't think I'm going to put that up in my house. So let's tidy this up. Smart. Oh, my God. Why can't I speak? There's a ton of stuff here, and it's falling over. Look, this is not working. I need to move these statues here and reevaluate this. I might actually put this up in my house. In the basement, of course. Basement.